Hey guys, Eric here, and it's Saturday. That means it's time for Backlog Arcade, and I'm so excited today because today I am talking about one of my literal favorite games of all time. If I had to build a top 10 list of my personal favorite games of all time, this game would definitely be in that list and probably near the top. And I can't say that about some of the other games that I've reviewed here on Backlog Arcade, but this one for sure is near the top of the list. Anyway, I'm really excited for this one. This is another side-scrolling beat 'em up, but it is one of my favorites, and if you haven't played this game, I urge you to play this game. It has been re-released on a bunch of home consoles and in classic collections and stuff like that, but in my opinion, the arcade version is the better version, so that's the version I'm going to be talking about today. Again, like always, if you're looking over my shoulder, you can already see the game that I'm talking about, and of course I'm talking about Capcom's Knights of the Round. And with that being said, let's get into it. Capcom's Knights of the Round is a side-scrolling beat-em-up that is loosely based on the King Arthur legend. There are three playable characters: King Arthur himself, Lancelot, and Percival. Each of the characters has different stats, Lancelot being the fastest but the weakest, Percival being the strongest but the slowest, and King Arthur being the most balanced character in this game. This game was released in the arcade in 1992, and I'm here to tell you that I still don't understand what Knights of the Round is. I don't understand why it's called that, and I attempted to do some research and stuff like that to try and figure out why Capcom called this Knights of the Round instead of Knights of the Round Table, and I couldn't find an answer. And in fact, the most definitive answer I was able to find was that Capcom called this Knights of the Round simply because they called it Knights of the Round. Let's get into the gameplay. We've got this really cool kind of attract mode that goes on where it kind of gives you a little short description of what happens during the game, during level ups, and how your characters change. They get different swords, they get different armors and stuff like that, and there's all three characters there. This was a 3-player arcade cabinet. Really fun game to play with your friends. Anyway, we're gonna coin up here. And I am going to go with Arthur. He's the most balanced character, and we'll start with him, and then we'll change over some characters and stuff like that. So this game uses two primary buttons in the arcade, just a jump and an attack, just like that. We've got large sprites, we've got fluid motion and animation, and it's really good. If you press both at the same time, you get that attack, which is kind of clears the screen a little bit. And it's just your special attack, but you do sacrifice some life for it. Now, this is one of the unique mechanics of this game. You see this treasure box? If I hit this treasure box, it splits up into multiple smaller treasures. Now, the reason why you want to do that is because this game has a level up system. The maximum level that you can reach for each character is level 16. However, there's only enough treasure and enough points in the actual game for one of the players to reach level 16, the maximum level. Everyone else will be stuck on level 15 or below in most cases. When you break up a treasure like that, not only does it allow you to split that treasure among the other players, but oftentimes the sum of what it splits into is greater than it would be just collecting that treasure outright. So if you do want to reach maximum level, and you can do it with food as well, you want to make sure that you hit those treasures to break them up and then collect them. So it's just a unique thing that happens in this game. And it's something that I actually really like. Now, the reason why I said in most cases, here's the first boss here. This guy's name is Scorn, and he's kind of a big knight here. He's got a block, and then we can just kind of abuse him. Anyway, the reason why I said that in most cases there's only enough points for one character to reach level 16 is because there is a chance that when you hit a treasure and you try to break it up, it may turn into a scepter, and sometimes that scepter will just give you an instant level up. And in some cases, that will mean that both characters or all three characters that are being played can reach the maximum level, level 16, and you guys can just clean house in the later levels of the game, and it will be really fun. Okay, now back to Scorn and what we're doing right now. So this game is kind of like, and I didn't successfully do it there, but we're gonna come back. King Arthur drops down with his big sword, and we're gonna defeat Scorn. Okay. So, this game is very similar to King of Dragons, where the console version used 3 buttons, whereas the arcade version just used 2. The third button on the console version is a block button. As you can see, I leveled up too, just as a caveat there. I leveled up, my sword changed a little bit, and you can see it there. I've got a bigger hilt on it now. It's just a cooler looking sword. Now, in the arcade version, you can block as well, but you block just like a fighting game. You kind of have to hold down the attack and press away from the enemy. I'll see if I can do it here. You do, it's really difficult. You have to kind of time it right. But you do still get the iframes. It's just harder to abuse. There we go. So as you saw, I was able to block, and I did get the iframes. My character flashed, and for that short period of time where I was flashing, I was invulnerable. So you get really skilled at blocking, you can actually go through this game without taking much damage. This is a salad plate there that I needed, and this guy dropped off a treasure for me, and I'm going to hit. So I don't know if you guys saw earlier in the gameplay there, I did hit a treasure and it did become a special item, and that item kind of created a quick little earthquake that knocked everyone on the screen down. So that's an example of one of the things that you can get from hitting the treasure. I'm gonna see if I can, if I can knock this guy off of his horse, I can steal it from him, which is another really cool mechanic of this game. But one of the things I really love most about this is the sound it makes, especially like the sword sound it makes when you're beating on someone that's wearing armor. It sounds really cool. That metal clash effect. I don't know if the mic is picking it up, but it's really cool. The horse has cool mechanics. You can double tap forward and he will jump. There we go. There's another earthquake special item, which affords me more treasure, which means I can get level ups faster, hopefully. There we go. Now I've leveled up. I'm now level 3. And I've got my full suit of armor there. We've got some magic users here. This guy's literally called a magician. But when you're on the horse, you do a lot more damage. And it's a lot harder for people to hit you. Oh, man. Lost my horse. And I believe this next boss is actually, we fight him on a horse. We can pick up some food there. Knock this treasure around. Get that. This guy's on a horse. And you can knock him off his horse and take it from him. There we go. Oh, this is Bradford. There is not a double tap forward run mechanic in this game, like there are with other side-scrolling beat 'em ups. So that is something that's just not in this game. Not die. I am really low already, though. Sometimes these guys, when they get added to a fight like that, they will drop food and you can recover some health. Oh, okay, he got me.
Not bad, not bad. Now you.
Okay, get the jump, kind of knock him around a little bit. There we go. Pick up my treasure. Bradford's down. See if we can get another level up here. I am still level 4, so I'll jump on it. In the Super Nintendo version, there are really only 2 areas where you can get a horse. In the arcade version, you can get a horse a lot more often. It's just one of the nuances of the... Oh, I forgot to break up that treasure, but that's okay. I like that it tells you how many, what your score has to be for the next level up as well. So it's not just some arbitrary number that you don't know about. I do think that if you die enough times, you will get a penalty, though, and it will take longer for you to level up. We'll keep an eye on that as we continue to play. As I take care of these birdmen here. And what is this guy called? A masked man. Stomp that guy. See, here's another opportunity for a horse. So if there was another person playing, they could grab that horse. We could both be riding horses. That horse looks cool because he's got armor on his head. But that's cool. I'll stay on this one. And kill these soldiers. Oh, now I lost my horse. That's okay. There we go. Got a level up there, and you can see my sword changed colors. Let's go ahead and... Oh. The other thing that's different between the arcade version and the Super Nintendo version is the Super Nintendo version is actually missing some frames. The frame rate is different on that game. So the characters kind of have jerky animation. Now, if you're just familiar with the Super Nintendo version and you're not really familiar with the arcade version, you may not notice. But if you play the two back to back, you will definitely notice that the animations are smoother in the arcade version. I'm sure this was done because of the processing power in the Super Nintendo not being quite as good as the dedicated arcade cabinet, as it was done with many home console versions of arcade games. That being said, we're moving on to the next level. Okay, so that is actually going to turn some guys into treasures. So I wanted to wait for some guys to be on the screen before I collected it, just to maximize my treasure. We'll see if we can actually get to the level, character level 16, so I can show you what character level 16, King Arthur, or whatever character I end up with at the end, looks like, because you do get some epic sets of armor, you do get really cool swords and stuff. And again, that was something that I just really loved about this game. It wasn't just, not to talk bad about Final Fight. I really love the Final Fight game, but there wasn't a, leveling up, character changing aspect of that game. Something for you to get excited about as you progressed in that game for your character. You just stayed the same throughout the entire game. So, these big armor guys are really tough. If you're able to pin them against a wall like that, they're much easier. But if you give them space, they jump at you. They also block, so they do quite a bit of damage, and they take a lot of hits to take out. There's some of the harder guys in the game. These masked guys really aren't that hard. These guys are called Skywalkers. Kind of acrobatic guys with little foils there. I really like the cast of characters in this game, especially the bosses. You do fight some really obscene bosses that are just huge, obscenely large bosses. They're not obscene as in like they wear revealing clothing or anything, but there's just really large bosses. I like that, It's really cool when they can just like exaggerate the artwork like that. All right, so this is Arlen. He's got his little treasure room here that he kind of burns up. This is an example. Like, look how big this guy is. And there's even bigger bosses than this guy. But this guy is huge, and he's actually quite difficult to fight. I'm just going to keep beating him up. It's going to take a while. Oh, but I do want that treasure. Oh, no. Okay, he did get out of it. That was cool. So he was able to recover and get out of that. I wasn't able to just keep him there. Kind of trivializing the fight. I like that it didn't work. That being said, I am just getting wrecked by this guy. This guy is considered one of the harder bosses in the game. So he's pretty much always gonna punch you after he blocks one of your attacks. All right, I got my gold armor there. Oh, wasn't able to collect all my treasure. Okay, so what level are we? I think it said we're level 6, which is good. So we're gonna go here. This level is extremely short. This is kind of like a bonus level because you get a lot of treasure really fast and then the level just ends. That is a scepter. There's my knight buddies going in. I leveled up again. So I am level 8. So that is kind of like a bonus level. Look at my sword now. It's huge. All right, so this guy's cool. He's called Phantom. He's just basically a really fast guy. And he throws these things that create fire. But he's not a hard boss by any stretch. Not like Arlen. Arlen's way harder. Okay. Dying a lot, but that's okay. We can change characters and you guys can see how some of the other characters are. I'll see if I can pick Lancelot after this. All the characters are really fun to play, so there isn't like a bad character to play. As you can see there, Phantom's pretty easy, but he didn't die. He kind of flips away because we are going to fight him later. I actually don't know like what level I'm supposed to be right now. That's a T set. Again, I said you want to break those up because the difference between breaking that up and just collecting it is a lot. You get a lot more points for breaking that one up. All right, we're breaking treasure. I'm gonna lose my horse here. I have 1 life, and then I should be able to change characters. Collect as much treasure as I can before that happens, though. Just to start off as high as possible. I don't know what'll happen when I change characters. What'll happen to my score? Hopefully it doesn't reset. All right, these are the guys. These are okay. All right, so there we go. I get a chance to change character. There we go, and we're gonna go with Lancelot. Did my score reset? I don't even know what it is. Okay, so Lancelot's cool. He's kind of got a thinner sword going on. He's a lot faster than King Arthur, but he doesn't do nearly as much damage. He's got the gold armor. He's got a cool jump attack where he hits twice. This is Balbars. This guy is huge. I really like this guy. This guy actually, oh my gosh. You can block his jump attack where he tries to like land on you. You can block that if you're better than I am at this game. I died as Lancelot, but that's okay. I want to continue playing Lancelot. We'll do a few levels with him, and if I die again, I'll switch over to Percival. But let's get some more gameplay as Lancelot, and hopefully some more levels. And we are getting to the end of this game. There's no way I'm going to be able to get level 16. I believe, I have to double check that. That sounds really high, but I think that's the max level you can get. You just have to be really, really good at this game in order to get that. Okay, that turns enemies into food. But there's no enemies on screen. So the boss of this level, he's kind of like a samurai guy. He's a cool boss. You know, he doesn't necessarily fit into like the traditional European type fantasy, but who cares? The artwork for him is awesome. The gameplay in this game is good, and the fun factor of this game is just really high. Hey, get off my horse, man. You got 4 birdmen at the same time. This is an example where I don't think you would encounter this in the Super Nintendo version. I think what they would do is they would send 2 of them after you, and then the 2 more would come after you got rid of those 2. Just because I don't think the system can handle that many sprites on the screen at the same time. All right, ooh. Oh, that was, I wanted to hit that. I had never seen that food before. That was like bread or something. All right, before I fight you, I'm gonna get my treasure zone. So this is Merasa, samurai. He's got some cool armor. He's very fast. He's got, a partial second life bar down there. I know in the Super Nintendo version you can just kind of hold block, and then you can block those meteors that he kind of calls down. It makes it a little bit easier. That fire thing is doing a lot of damage. Oh, so that's one of the nuances of Percival there. I forgot about that. So Percival doesn't have a jump attack. He can't attack in the air. So when you jump and you attack, he doesn't attack till he actually hits the ground. That being said, the attack does a lot of damage. This guy is savage, man. That meteor thing hits his own people. Like I said, I think this is the second to the last boss. The last level does have a couple mini bosses in it, but this is the second to the last major boss, I believe. All right, finally, Merasa is down, and I think this is the final stage, stage 7. Ooh, I did level up. Percival's cool because he's only got armor like on the side that he fights on. It's just neat. Okay, so I'm level 11. So yeah, I guess level 16 is the max. And with this being the last level, but it's a pretty long level, so you can get a lot of levels in here. I don't think I am gonna be able to hit that max though. I do think that the general difficulty level of the arcade version is much higher than it is with the SNES version. This is another game where I wish they would do a remake of it. You know, I don't want them to change any of the mechanics or anything. If they wanted to add a few mechanics, that would be okay. But I don't want them to change the core gameplay. Just because it's so good. It's simple, but it's so good. Okay, I'm gonna use this to instantly kill that guy and collect all of that treasure. Oh, there's another one. I really gotta block better. You know, someone who's like really good at back blocking fighting games would probably do really good at this game. Because it's the same blocking mechanic and timing and everything. Oh, look at that. Just got another level up. Look at that. My armor's more beefy. I shaved my head. Oh, now it's on. Now it's on. Now you made Percival angry. Everyone knows when, you know, when you got to get the hair out of your face, that's when it's really on. Oh, you grew a beard too. Alright, so this is going to be where we encounter the first of the mini-bosses. And he's kind of like this, he's like a robot golem, kind of. Did that trap just kill its own people? It looked like it. Alright, so I'm close to level 14. Knock that out of the way. Alright, so this is like the robot golem, and you kind of have to, that thing follows you around and he tries to drop it on you. He's got these things that come from the ceiling. Again, all of those things are blockable if you time it right. Should I continue with Percival? Let's go back to Arthur. Oh man, see, I got a level penalty. And I don't know if that's because I changed characters. Now we probably won't be able to hit level 16. Which sucks. Maybe I should have stayed with Percival. Okay, so this guy's not that hard. You bring this mace around over here so it drops down. Then you just hit this center portion where his machinery is. That's a lot of treasure. Let's go ahead and pick that up. I'm gonna guess that I'm gonna end the game at level 14. Okay, I was able to block that one. Alright. So that guy's not too hard. He's just really cool mini-boss. We didn't talk about how cool Arthur's armor is right now, though. He gets his little red cape and stuff. Alright, yeah. Maybe I won't even get to level 14. So this is the final walkway to the final boss, and that's the final boss. I think it's Arlen again, but he's in like a full suit of gold armor this time. But he has very similar attacks to what he did when we first saw him. Oh, look at all that food. Give me the food. Give me the food. Food is treasure.
Mmm, so good and tasty.
Alright. Alright, so here he is. This is Arlen. I've never seen him drop the earthquake thing. So he starts out on a horse, and he's got that attack, which sucks. But then we knock him off of his horse. I know we don't do this entire fight with him on a horse. Okay, so... Okay, now. Ooh, he was like stunned. Okay. Oh, he does leave his horse behind. And his helmet. Okay, so now he's off his horse. And he's got a different set of attacks. Doing a lot more damage. Oh, man. I don't know how many of his various attacks are blockable and how many of them aren't. Oh my goodness. I mean, he looks cool with his gold armor and stuff. Get back in here. I didn't get a score penalty, so that's cool. Come on, Garibaldi. Sorry, I'm looking at my camera battery. Come on, that's the next upgrade, is to get a power adapter for my camera, so I don't always have to worry about the battery running out in the middle of recording. Alright, so we beat him. I don't think I got enough to even reach level 14. Final stage clear. There's the Holy Grail, kind of comes down in the background there. That's pretty cool. Oh, I got enough. I'll hit level 14. But I'm not getting the illustrious level 16, but that's okay. All right, so final thoughts about King Arthur Knights of the Round. As I had mentioned at the top of this episode, this is one of my favorite games of all time. It's definitely in my top 10 games of all time. As far as side-scrolling beat-em-ups, it is really close to the top. There are just a few games that may knock it off of the top spot, and I will do episodes on those games because I just love them. If you have any sort of opportunity to play this game, I urge you to try and play this game because it is so much fun, especially with 3 people. You do 3 people simultaneous, and this game is just a blast. You're leveling up, you're fighting all the characters, and it's just such a fun game. This game, as I had mentioned, it does have a Super Nintendo version, which is very good. Although I do like the arcade version a bit better, the Super Nintendo version, I don't want to take anything away from it. It is one of the best home console games that has ever been released, especially during the 16-bit era. The music is fantastic, the mechanics are really good, and it's just got so much going for it. This is just a really good game. Fantasy, side-scrolling beat-em-up, you can't really get better than that. So let me know what you think of this game. Let me know if you've played it. If you have, where does it rank on your list? Leave a comment below and let me know. Is this near the top, or do you absolutely hate this game? Are there side-scrolling beat-em-ups that you think are a lot better? Do you agree with my opinion? Maybe you don't. Either way, I want to hear about it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I really enjoy making these videos. Please like and subscribe, hit that bell icon so you never miss an episode. And yeah, join me on the next one of the next episode of Backlog Arcade. Until then, happy gaming.